please be with our law enforcement, our military. Just thank you so much for what they do, for what they sacrifice for us to be here doing what we're doing today. I ask you, Heavenly Father, to please be with the board as we make decisions for the county, that we make the right decisions. I ask you, Heavenly Father, just please continue to be with us, forgive us when we fail you. It's just in Jesus' name.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Good morning. I would like to say I'm glad to see everybody's here safe and sound. First order of business will be public comments. Are there anyone here who would like to speak for public comments? Seeing none, we're going to move on to our first order of business. Bear with us, folks. There was a little confusion. We closed the courthouse and things, and so some things are on the agenda that shouldn't be. Maybe some things have been left off after your non-agenda items. But we'll start out with John McDonald this morning. John has one item, agenda item, and he has a non-agenda item. So if you'll please come forward.
All right, my agenda item is the ratification for the local emergency declaration that we did for, at that time, we're known as Tropical Depression 9, which eventually turned into Hurricane Hermine. So I want to get that ratification done if possible.
We have a motion by Commissioner Rockmeek, second by Commissioner Lily Brooks. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the non-agenda item, I'm going to go ahead and all right, the non-agenda item.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion about hearing non-agenda item? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, want an extension on that local declaration for an additional 7 days. Being as a time frame that's going to come up with that, we want to have another board meeting before this one expires.
Do we need to extend it for 7, John, or we need to go ahead and extend it for 14?
If we could extend it for 14, I would like to do it for that, and then bring another extension back.
We can't just knock that out and do, so we're not having to ratify it. Sorry, we have a motion by Commissioner Rook, second by Commissioner Joyner. Is there any further discussion about the extension of the declaration 2016-057? Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, why can we not extend it for 14 days, Ms. Brown?
How our system is set up, we do this for 7 days. But how we got it set up, we have to do some changes to the ordinance and other things to do it.
I'm just trying to say I talked too much, they won't let me do it. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the last thing I got, and this was one under it. I got a regular agenda item.
I thought that's what we just did.
No, he's going to do the grub.
I'm going to do grub contracts, that way you won't have to do what he says.
Mr. Chair, we don't need, the board doesn't need to approve that for us on Monday. But you can if you want, but the contract is set up for Mr. Moody approves it.
For that extension?
Well,
Yeah.
for clarity and transparency, I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
Okay.
I appreciate your
Okay, so you're gonna,
guidance, but
what the request needs to be is to ratify the extension that was already done.
So the request to ratify the extension that was already done to the grub contract, which will run that through October of 2017.
that's going to be item G under county coordinator.
Great.
Is there any question?
How long do you think it's going to take to clean it up?
Well, we're currently working on a new RFP for the new system in a new way, so we get the RFP not done yet with this new super circular 200, so that was why we decided to go ahead and extend that for the next following year.
He's talking about the debris, not the contract.
Well, probably, I don't
I'm
know.
gonna tell you this.
I'm tired.
From being I saw pictures of on Thursday, to where they was at on Sunday, I figured by about Thursday, they're gonna be ready to go. I mean, they are going leaps and bounds. So, but anyway. Yes, ma'am,
Mr. Chairman, in what is Drugs Emergency Services a local company?
the most local company that we have that does debris management removal on the scale that we get done.
The Levy County company?
No, ma'am,
No.
but they're from, Fernando, Pasco County.
And what do they do?
They pick up everything from storm debris from Lim Street, what we call white goods, like refrigerators, appliances, stuff like that. They'll pick that up, toxic, chemical, whatever, tin cans, they do it all. They sort it, they take it. get rid of it.
Construction debris from cleanup. It's just, we contract with them because we don't have the resources to do it ourselves.
Ms. Cannon, we have that contract, and some municipalities piggyback off of that. Cedar Key went ahead and executed with Grubbs over the weekend, so they're already in force.
Good. Do I hear a motion to ratify the agreement between Rose and motion by Commissioner Brooks, second by Commissioner Brock Meeks. All in day. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
You got anything for me?
Beyond telling you what a good job you did, it was my first experience of going through a disaster. As a commissioner, and especially as the chairman, and just seeing how everything worked and how well all of our employees worked well together, the outside agencies that come in, the way you managed and handled everything, was a superior effort, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the effort of my fellow commissioners, who came by, who sat in on meetings, who filled in whenever I wasn't there. Thank y'all for that. Thank you to the sheriff. Glad he's not here. He probably couldn't get in the door, could he? But anyway, the sheriff's office did a fantastic job. Our new public safety director talked about baptismal by fire. You know,
It's
first
his
on the
fault.
job, first on the job, we're activating the EOC, and he's having to sit in on it. The school board, can't say nothing about the school board, and they're activating and opening the shelters and their patients and dealing with us. You know, we thought we had the shelter issue handled, and we were closing, and the people showed back up, and they, you know, instead of complaining, they just said, well, whatever, we're there, we'll feed them, we'll take care of them. So, overall, I don't have any complaints. I don't see how anybody can have any complaints.
Most of the input I've got out in the county, since I've been out there, a lot of them are really happy how it worked and the information that was being shoved to them timely, so they were pretty happy with it.
The activation before, the endurance throughout the event, and then, you know, immediately starting on Friday, beginning recovery. I mean, everybody, as far as I'm concerned, did an outstanding job, and I'm not just kissing people's backsides. I was amazed. I mean, I was raising to tears when I think about how hard. Yes, ma'am.
I have one complaint. Why didn't somebody notify Sanford and Sons that you were closing the landfill on Thursday?
We posted it, we advertised it. I mean, it was put out in every media outlet that we could that was available.
I didn't know
We
about
couldn't
it.
get it in the newspaper because, you know, they already went to print, but
There was nothing on the news about it, and I get emergency alerts and so forth. And the problem being that all of us had our garbage out there to be picked up. He picked up some of it, had his trucks full, and arrives at the landfill to find it locked, and nobody there to take them in. So he couldn't finish picking up the rest of the garbage, which then sat out there in the storm. He couldn't pick up on Friday because it was closed Friday, which everybody assumed it would be.
he was open on Saturday.
Yeah. No, I just think
And I'm
there
not
was
gonna argue this
a
point with
problem.
Ms. Allen, but
This is a big company and it serves, people
Yes,
are
ma'am.
very upset with
Well,
the current
Wasteboro
company.
said they were gonna pick up on Thursday or Friday, no matter what, and we put our garbage out, and they didn't pick up. And I informed them personally that the landfill was gonna be closed. And they said, people said they didn't care. They were gonna pick up garbage. And so, same thing, my garbage sat out and got blowed over, and I had to pick it all up, and I'm happy about it, so. If that's the worst thing that comes of this, then
No, but it's something that needs to be noted. They
we
need
will-
to notify
we will
people.
have an after-action plan meeting, and we will, that will be what we will.
Yeah, that's,
Wednesday afternoon about 3 o'clock, I called Mr. Gerald and told him that the county as a whole was shutting down. And so he made some calls out, whether he reached out to them and didn't get them or not, I don't know. They're a small independent carrier. They serve a good purpose, and I apologize if they didn't get notified. But most companies can stage stuff overnight or even longer sometimes. But all I can say is, I'll talk to Mr. Gerald about it, be sure he has them on speed dial as well as any other independent carriers. But I'm sure other people drove out there too that go out there on their own, and it just wasn't time to get the word out. It was just that fast that things happened. But this was Wednesday about 3 o'clock when it was decided the courthouse would be closed on Thursday. And then on Thursday at noon, we made the decision to stay closed through Friday, because even though some areas looked fine, there was other areas that people couldn't even get to their home or from their home. And so it was just one of those events. I mean, that thing sat out there for a while as a tropical depression, and when it cranked up, it cranked up. And so I apologize.
Ms. Cannon?
Mr.
Yes,
Chairman,
ma'am.
Mr. McDonald's website said clearly that all county offices would be closed on Thursday, and anybody with intelligence could figure out that Friday would follow for the employees' sake, etc. I mean, I'm sorry for Miss Sally's experience, but you would expect, if I'm in the garbage hauling business, that I would have access to the website and would see what it says there.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Moving on, I think we're done.
Thank you.
Good job again.
I'm going back to work. Don't want to do that.
Mr. Hammond. Mr. Bill Hammond has an item, it's a non-agenda item also. Do I hear a motion to get a non-agenda item? Does everybody have a copy of the non-agenda? That's our problem. What? Refresh my memory on what this non-agenda item is.
This is our annual recertification form that we do for payment of our annual CRS.
Okay. Do we need to get, is everybody comfortable with hearing this item without the backup? Do we need to get backup real quick?
No.
You got a motion, I'll second it.
Okay. I'm following you, but while we're doing all this, somebody can make copies if we need to. Is everybody comfortable hearing it without?
I'm fine, I'm listening to him, I'm fine with it.
Could you tell me one more time what you just said?
This is every year, we have to do an annual form that's required being signed by the chair. And, because we do our annual audit every year on our CRS, which is our community rating system. And as part of that is a cover letter that has to, that requires the chairman's signature to go on. And we do this every year.
Do I hear a motion here non-agenda item? Do I hear a second? We have a motion by Commissioner Reed, second by Commissioner Stevens here non-agenda item. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Shoot.
This is our, it's called a 213-1 form. It's our annual recertification due to FEMA each year. What it does, it requires us to certify the continued implementation of our credit activities that we do for our rating and CRS. As part of that, we just send copies of our elevation certificates, and we show them what activities that are involved in for our rating or our CRS. And as part of that, there's a cover form, and I apologize if you don't have it, that actually requires the chairman's signature on it. And that's what I'm here for.
respect to Mr. Henry, why was that not presented? Especially if that is due every year. Why was that not presented to the board in appropriate time?
In the confusion of GMD, in the closing and the activation and everybody doing everything to get ready for the storm, things got missed.
No, I mean the previous board meeting.
Because we don't get actually sent these letters for certification. We get them from actually from FEMA, generally about the end of August and the middle of August is when they send us the letter to be signed off. That's when we get it.
Okay.
So it was turned in to be on the agenda, it just got left off.
Yeah, we actually did put it on.
He
the
didn't
agenda.
realize it wasn't on the agenda until this morning, so he was already here.
And one more thing. Ms. Brown, is it legal for the board to ask what the non-agenda item is before you even take a vote to hear a non-agenda item? That's what I'd like to know.
It's
kind of-
to ask, it's legal not to ask. The board can do it any way that they want to do it, to add a non-agenda item.
You know, keep in mind with a non-agenda item, the board has the option to hear it by majority vote, and the board also has to take action on that by a majority vote. So you got two different motions, you hear it, and then you take action on the item.
I'm well aware of that,
So it's covered
Commissioner
all,
Stevens.
so it's covered all the way around.
My question was that the chair asked what was to be heard. That is the crux of the matter.
My concern is if we weren't comfortable doing this without any sort of backup, any sort of paper, I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. Rather than sit here and hear an non-agenda item, he tells us what it is, we do it, and then, well, I'm not comfortable doing this until I see it, and then we end up delay the meeting 15 minutes. I was trying to get that out of the way. I apologize if I didn't follow.
But Ms. Brown explained that either way is legal.
But either way,
That's all I'm concerned.
Ms. Tony?
What would happen if FEMA's not real happy with Levy County's activities?
On our activities that you have, there's a whole list of activities, there's actually over 100 of them. And what each county and each city does is you do your best to do what activities you can to get points for them. Those points add up and give you a rating, starts at 10, goes to 1. There's actually not any 3, 2, the ones in the state of Florida. But, that's what those activities are. Each one of those activities gives you so many points. Just like they are. And you do the ones that you can, it gives those points that you
Mr. Chair, if I could also ask Mr. Newman if you would follow up and make sure that Ms. Shanda gets a copy of what of the letter and the form, so that it can be in the backup.
can. No problem.
Thank you.
All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
And if I could real quick, I'd like to take one, just thank the commission for all your help, especially Ms. Brooks and the damage assessment that my department is doing. Ms. Brooks was right out here riding with us and helping us at Cedar Key and everything. It was, very valuable. She did a lot of the, I won't tell them the name of the one road that was just going down. I'll keep that a secret between us, but, yeah, it was very helpful. She knew exactly the places that flooded and, took us right to the
We're gonna talk about that later too, because even though she was doing her job, and I appreciate her being there, I'm sure she was in good hands, I don't want my commissioners braving the storm, putting ourselves in danger, please. I only got 4 y'all like my youngins, I only got 4 y'all, don't want to lose one.
Let me tell you something. Old Lord is bad. I'll do whatever
I don't want to hear it.
I got another one down there doing the same thing after I asked him to just go home and be safe, take care of your family.
I seen pictures years ago when Miss Lily down in Cedar Key Rosewood area, walking the roads down there during the time, which storm it was. Yeah, a lot of people that, lived in the area,
You know,
and
anybody.
I just want to tell you, thank you for continuing to do what it is that you've done all the way through. So you're picking right back up, and I appreciate that, so.
All right, now we're gonna try to get back to the normal world here as much as we can this morning. Mr. Moody.
Okay, the first item I have, item A, is announced that the county auction, there will be a county auction of all of our surplus equipment. We will also be inviting the municipalities, we've invited the sheriff's office who have joined us years in the past. But that auction will be on Saturday, October 29th, at the road department, beginning at 9 a.m. So that's everything that we have as surplus, you know, so
We've notified all the departments, right?
we have, but we will continue to do that.
Whatever you list of items, so now.
Yeah, the Atkinson auctions out of Sarasota that we contract with will be here. They'll be doing, you know, photographing the equipment, especially vehicles and things like that. They do an online auction too, but the board prefers to do an on-site auction, and then later, if there's anything left, we can leave it as an online item to move it, so yes, ma'am, they will. The second request, or the second board item I have is item B, request approval of a third amendment to the three-party agreement between Levy County and the University of Florida Board of Trustees and William F. Hamilton, MD, for District Medical Examiner Services, University Physician Support Services, University Non-Physician Support Services, and Facility Use. This is an annual thing. This is the third year of the 3-year contract, and we do this every year. This cost, this agreement is effective the first day of October through September 30th, 2017, and the annual amount is $50,472, payable in 12 equal monthly installments for the sum of $4,206.
This is one facility that I don't intend to use.
I agree. But it's one where we have to have it, and we try to control the cost. Y'all have had them here before when it's time to do their annual renewal, and they'll be back, but they do it for the entire 8th Circuit, plus the Department of Corrections, so different counties have different amounts based on usage and things like that, so. But this is the third one of the 3-year contract here.
Make a motion to approve it presented.
So, we have a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Again, I rush to get things done Wednesday to get the books out and the agendas out. Item C, D, E, and F are your annual rate resolutions for our assessment programs. These are in error today. Those are for our public hearing on September 13th at 6 p.m. here in this room.
I read all that stuff.
So that's just tabled until then. I was asked if you will allow me to do the road department because they're all swamped out there, so I can do that while I'm up here.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Anybody else?
okay, the first item that the road department had, it's time to do the annual approval of the agreement with Mills Engineering for their annual contract. We received a letter from Mr. Mills saying we wish to renew our annual contract with Mills Engineering Company to serve as the county's engineering consultant. The proposed contract remains unchanged from that of last year. And that's been that way for quite a few years, so that's what we have there. Now, we can also, this is just the contract, this is the engineer of record for the county, but at times we also engage other engineering firms and all depending on what program it is or what project it is or something like that, so. And that's just a rate of $95 an hour to the engineer.
In the motion, if you could also include the approval of the addendum that's attached in there, that's what we we added to deal with the, there are certain requirements from the state grants that need to be in the engineer's contract, and so the addendum addresses each one of those and adds the money.
And I'll read that addendum into the record. It's request approval of the contract, but to also the addendum to include resurfacing and widening of County Road 343, resurfacing and widening of County Road C48, reconstruction and resurfacing of the Clay Landing Road, and resurfacing and widening of C326. So that's an addendum to that contract that she was speaking about.
Motion to approve and with the addendum.
We have a motion by Commissioner Rooks, second by Commissioner Warner. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Before you go, this, while we're talking about the subject, I know we've been working on the ability to get through our process of opening up RFQ, RFP for a library engineer, so that we have people who are specialized in other fields on hand, so we can enter into a contract with them without having to go through all the hoops. And I know y'all are working on it, we just,
Miss Brown, Wilbur, and I met just last week, I think, probably, I've forgotten age now, but I think probably Monday, to go over that. There's some changes coming with the different things too, you know, on the state level that we finally got certified for, so that may play into it, but the contract that the RFP we were looking at didn't incorporate in some of the new mandated things, but we're getting there. So, yes.
thank you.
Now, the second item that the road department has, and this is just to advertise now, it's request adoption of resolution 2016-044 to schedule a public hearing on Tuesday, October 4th, 2016 at 9 a.m. for the closure of portions of southeast 100 Kent Terrace and southeast 4th Street located in Levy Ranchettes, as requested by petitioner Larry Myers.
No, I don't know.
Where are you going, Miss Tony?
I don't know.
Resolution number 2016-44 is a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Levy County, Florida, to advertise the hearing for the vacation, abandonment, and closure of portions of southeast 100 Kent Terrace and southeast 4th Street located in Levy County, Ranchettes, and Levy County, Florida. And that's just to advertise, and it goes to a public hearing, and I think this one, from what I understand, will draw some interest, so.
What's the pleasure of the board?
Make the motion to approve. Second.
Motion, we have a second, is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Just for your information, for your calendars, September 8th at 6 p.m. will be your trim hearing here in this room. That'll start at 6 p.m. It's a trim hearing. That's on September 8th. On September 13th, as I just mentioned, to adopt the annual rate resolutions for your assessment program, it'll be at 6 p.m. on September 13th here. And then on September 19th, a Monday night at 6 p.m. will be your final budget hearing and adoption of your budget for 2016-2017.
Yes,
Those are at 6 p.m. And then on September 30th, of course, we'll meet again here in a regular meeting September 20th at 9, but on September 30th at 9 o'clock here, will be your final meeting as you do every year to pay year-end bills and any last minute things that might come before the board that has to be handled in this fiscal year. So that's your calendar.
Thank you.
And then you said on the 13th? Yes, sir. A week from tonight at 6.
I'm reminding myself on the 12th.
Yes. And staff, they'll probably call y'all on
I'm
Friday.
sure,
to remind you too.
On this, road closure thing, we're not gonna have any sort of night meetings for that, will we?
It may, I don't know, Chairman.
Well, I mean, the planning council, and everybody like that. My point is this, and I meant to bring this up before, I forgot, sorry. Is the sheriff has requested that whenever we're gonna have meetings, planning council, for a planning commission, anything like that, if we think that things are gonna be hot items, to let him, alert him so he can have extra security here. And the word I've gotten is this may be a hot item, so.
And that's the word I got, but at basically the last minute, so I'm not,
Okay.
don't have full knowledge of that, but I was just, that's why I asked, and they said, no, this is just to advertise it.
Well, I just wanna be sure that if there was another meeting in conjunction with our meeting at 9 AM, that we alert them so they can have an extra.
I don't know if that's the requirement that it be, that might be
No,
something y'all
I
decide.
don't wanna have one, I'm just saying if we do, or if we did, if we're going to. So, again, for future notice, we do need to let the sheriff's office know.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's that, thank you. Mr. Dean.
Okay, what we have before you today is, we need a motion to reappoint Mary Gale to the Levy County Housing Planner, as county representative to the Central Florida Community Action Board, and also to approve a motion for staff to prepare a letter submittal to the CFCAA.
Motion by Commissioner Rockney, second by Commissioner Rooks. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
You said Marlon, huh?
Yeah.
Mr. Weldon.
Good morning. What I bring before you this morning is a project that we became aware of after our last board meeting. We've identified, there was 2 pieces of property identified in the Waukesasa, in the Gulf Hammock area, part of the Waukesasa Basin. The one piece, the Hutchison family piece, is 203 acres. It has part of the Island, Waukesasa, and on tributaries, that piece is 203 acres. It's an unspoiled piece of property for the most part. Estuaries, the whole 9 yards in this piece. And then there was a second piece that touched it, which was the Waukesasa Fishing Club. As you may be aware, we already own the Waukesasa boat ramp, which touches the old Williams Fish Camp Fishing Club. It has a 50 slot campground, a screened-in pavilion with full kitchen, a store facility, and upstairs that they rent out that has little rooms for motel slots, the whole 9 yards of slot, a boat ramp. It's 22.7 acres. We were contacted by a water management district and DEP stating that Florida Community Trust grant would be a perfect fit for this piece. We proceeded ahead and wrote a grant for that. And also, before I get into that part, the property taxes on both pieces of property is on, it's $5,148 a year. So $88. So $5,188 a year is what they pay in property taxes. So basically, me and Wilbur and we got together and put a grant together and submitted it. We can pull this grant back today if y'all decide y'all don't want to go any further with it, but we had to submit it by August 30th. It was brought to our attention on August 19th, which was after your last board meeting. We had 3 weeks. So we went ahead and took the initiative and submitted this, and the EP is aware that if y'all do not approve this, that we'll be pulling this grant back. So we went for, the amount of the grant is $1.775 million. And basically, the way their grant process works is we've submitted this grant, and there may be, let's say, 100 grants that's submitted throughout the state. They'll go through each one of these grants, make sure they're all eligible. Then they'll rank them on from 1 to 100. And they've got a certain pot of money that they use to fund projects 100%. They'll look at their top 10, top 15, however much money they have, and they'll say, okay, we'll fully fund these 15 projects. Then from 16 to say 25, they may fund 80%. Then from 25 down, it just keeps going down the percentage. And once they're done with their process, they'll come back to us and say, okay, Levy County, we're willing to fund 100%, 80%, 60%. And at that point, then if y'all want to proceed with it, then you go out and look for partners to match the other monies that they're not covering. And that's how the process works. We're obligated to nothing.
I was gonna say, at that point, we're not bound. They
No.
can say, we're going to do 50, and we're stuck having to come up with 50. We can
Exactly.
say, we're not interested.
Exactly. I mean, we just basically submitted it to where basically you throw it up against the wall and see what sticks. If it's 100%, then, you know, or if it's 60%, however it comes out, it's up to y'all whether to accept it or not. In the past, I know, like the campground grant at Bex Park, we even had went as far as it had been awarded, and we decided at the last second we really didn't want it at that time, and we turned it, you know, turned it down. So we still have that option. And so.
Are there any questions from the board for Matt at this time?
And at any time, if we want to follow the
Yes, yes. I mean, there's no, until we sign that contract saying that we're accepting this amount of money from you, we have no obligation.
Make a motion to approve it. I'm sorry.
And I would just ask that the motion be to ratify it because it's already been
Yes.
submitted.
Make a motion to ratify, make a motion to approve as presented.
We have a motion by Commissioner Jordan, we'll give Rock the second, because he was in the process. Is there any further discussion, Ms. Cannon? I don't have a question.
Mr. Shannon, is this land better be successful at whatever percentage? What is the purpose to preserve the Wakatasa basin?
Basin. The walks.
That's a portion of the matter, if I may, you can correct me on whether I'm wrong. Whenever, the way it was explained to me, whenever this came about, there was a parcel that the fishing club parcel was brought forth, and then during the discussion, it was brought that there's another portion of unspoiled lands that would be in conjunction with, all part of, it could be combined into one parcel, so not only would you have the effectiveness of preserving this land, you would actually have an expansion of our county park. Because we have the small boat ramp there, the parking is an issue, there's lots of issues with it. We'd be able to expand that so that the citizens of Levy County could better utilize the resources that are down there. One of the things Water Management is so excited about this particular project is they have no holdings on the Waukesha River, is my understanding. And so they're excited that they want to acquire land. They have a lot of land on the Swanee River, they have a lot of land on the Santa Fe River, they have land on a lot of rivers, but the Waukesha and the McIver are two rivers that they do not have any holdings on. Now, the Southwest Water Management District people do have holdings on their side.
So if Swan River were to acquire holdings, then that would do away with the tax money, is that right?
$5,000.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Mr. Sheffield,
I'm guessing that owning the fish camp is gonna come with additional maintenance costs and stuff. Does it generate enough income to offset that?
Yes, sir, I believe with a 50 slot campground, we can offset the cost on it. Any of the upgrades and that, like for septic systems and such as that, Swanee River has gotten river grants. A lot of that BP oil money is out there for doing just this project. In fact, when the governing board of water management seen this project, it was called the poster child for BP oil money, basically, because it met every criteria. It's an estuary, it's a fishery. I mean, it's vital to part of what we love about Levy County. I mean, it's our fish come up and spawn up in these small feeder creeks and then raise their young up to a fry size and then, return back to the marsh and.
It sounds great, I was just thinking cost down the road.
And the mouth of the Waukesasa is also, part of the Big Bend Seagrass Reserve that runs from Apalachicola all the way to Turtle Creek Bay. Now, out of all that miles of coastline, there's 74% of the seagrass left in that estuary is right there at the mouth of Waukesasa. So if we don't protect this area, and, it's,
Just like to add, John, if you really studied the maps and all looked out there, you've got over a mile of riverfront property there that has absolutely no development on it other than where the Williams Fish Camp is, or the Waukesasa Fishing Club, whatever you want to call that building there. The rest of it is unspoiled. You won't find another place, I don't believe, in the state that still you have that opportunity to stop, encroachment on that areas that might lead to problems.
I've seen many caves up there before.
yes, ma'am.
Not only that, if I recall that correctly, the Waukesasa is an outstanding Florida waterway.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's keep it outstanding.
Mr. Jordan?
I have two questions. My first is, if it's not fully funded, are there other sources of money
Yes.
to? Okay. And my second question is it possible to generate enough use fees to make up the loss of tax money?
Oh, yeah.
That's our plan.
Most definitely.
And a good example is the Shell Mound, and I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Shell Mound, but about 13 months out of the year, the sand gnats are so bad you can't stand to be there, and it stays full. I mean, people love it. They go there, they camp. We have people who camp during hunting season, we have people who camp over fishing. We have some folks who just go there to camp because they love it. And it's, to them it's special. To me, it would be like punishment. But it's a, I see the potential for it to be an asset to Levy County.
A revenue source?
A revenue source, but more so an asset for the people. Revenue source.
The ecotourism that's, is taking off in the state of Florida, this right here will put us right in the ballgame. I mean, people will be coming here to this.
You can buy a fishing license there,
Yes.
you can buy gas, you can buy a fishing license, you can buy gas, bait, you can buy bait, you can buy whatever there.
Yep.
But when it's privatized, y'all went away.
Yep.
And there's
I
nothing.
say privatized, whenever it went into the club,
Yes.
all that went away.
And really, there's nothing there, because the Jiffy Store's gone. So,
I know.
I
know. I mean, there used to be vendors that supply the store there on
Regular basis.
a regular basis.
I don't doubt for 1 minute that it will generate revenue. I mean, there'll be some costs, but the good thing about the way this grant's written is costs that are entailed, say, to put in a sewage treatment facility or a pump station or whatever. The board of management is agreeing to take on those costs as well. So it's, it's like
It's a
100%.
win-win.
And they're in the same boat we're in with our Restore Act money and our Gulf Consortium, our BP money. The state got a big chunk of that money too, and they're looking for a place to spend it. And this is what they consider a very good way to do it.
Surely you had some good grant around
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Sorry. Swaniger?
Oh, I just had a quick question about what are the chances of the application being approved with all of the others that would come from other parts of the state? Pretty good?
Pretty good, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
From what I heard from the water management folks, this is their
The poster
their
child.
number one. Well, this is their number one for Swanee River, so they're gonna push very hard.
Thank you.
There's only one Levy County, that's what.
Yes, ma'am.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carried.
One other thing while I'm up here, because I do have mosquito control also, I'm sure we're gonna run into some vector control issues down in Cedar Key from all the flooding and that. Probably gonna have some supply or see what kind of orders we've got, we know there's quite a bit. One of the things I feel, and I don't know how the board feels, aerial chemical spraying needs to be a very, very last resort, because releasing what they spray out of those planes will kill all our bees and a lot of our.
We need to push for larvicide, and I was going to, in the conference call last night, I was going to talk about that, but the subject didn't come up.
Right.
That's definitely larviciding first. If it gets out of control, then we may
Right.
spray. It's gonna be bad enough that they're gonna spray other places and that stuff's gonna carry.
Right. Right.
But we can ill afford to lose our bees and other beneficial bugs. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Well, in South Carolina, they did another devastated bee kill there.
Yeah.
Of like 2.5 million.
And that don't just, I mean, that affects agriculture and everything.
And one of the things we need to keep in mind is, we get out to the public, is we're gonna see a lot of daytime feeding mosquitoes now with these flood border mosquitoes, but they are not the ones spreading Zika. The ones spreading Zika are raising in the tires around your house, and anything around your house that's holding water. If you empty out all that stuff, you can eliminate this problem.
And they all live down in Miami. They all live.
Right, right. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
You must be really smart.
Matt, you're not leaving, are you? No, you need, no, if you'll just wait.
Okay.
You're in trouble. It's nearly
2 hours from now.
morning.
One item under affordable housing or housing, let's see here, it's under SHIP. Okay, staff is requesting that board make a motion to approve, your annual reports as contained in your packets, and also authorize, the chair's signature on the, certification form, which is the last page in your packet. This is a little different than your normal annual reports, where these are just the interim reports. It's not a closeout report, so it's kind of anticipated pending spending amounts are in these reports, but we're required to submit them before the September 15th deadline to the state. So staff just requesting approval.
Motion approved.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Ann Brown.
Good morning. My first item is order form and renewal terms for what's called Thomson Reuters Westlaw. This is my legal subscription, the legal research service, and I also get some books with this. And this is a 5-year term. We've got some good discounts for the renewal each year, only at 1%. We have been paying before 3% a year, so now it's gone down to 1%, and you get a 50% discount on the book. That's approval of that.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next item is an amendment to our existing agreement with Allen Norton and Blue, which is our employment attorney firm. And this is the first, they're asking for a raise of $15 an hour, and this is their first increase in 3 years. And prior to that, it had been many years. They had requested an increase earlier in a lot of their 20 years before.
Any chance we can talk about it this year? Should we try?
We can try, if you want me to take this, I can certainly try.
Mr. Husband does a good job. I'm okay with $15 an hour increase on attorney fees. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, they want a raise of $15 an hour in addition to what they're being paid. What are they being paid?
$230.99.
So they want to get paid $245 an hour. That's for their senior attorneys
That's for everyone.
across the board.
And most of the time, we get direct to the senior attorney, very rarely
What do they charge? They charge for, I take it, for their paralegals also? They just charge for their attorney time.
And we charge
I'm sorry,
$90
I'm
an
sorry,
hour.
The paralegals are at $100 an hour, that hasn't changed. But I haven't seen any of those charges, very rarely do I see those.
And I take it there are cost charges also?
Yes.
What cost, may I ask what costs they charge for?
Well, sometimes there's copy charges, sometimes there are legal research charges. I don't believe they charge travel, do they? They do, okay. They do charge the mileage.
Forget the travel.
Where's their offices located?
They're in Winter Park, is that right? Winter Park.
Yeah,
So
we're represented out of Winter Park, but they have offices all over the state.
Winter Park, so that when they charge for travel, they're traveling to where? To here?
Here.
But they don't pay $245.
No. Mileage charges.
But, okay, but not for attorney time.
No.
That's unusual.
Well, they're invaluable to us, being a small rural county and not having the staff that we would need with 2 unions in the county, and with just the negotiations of those, especially with the Department of Public Safety and MS Fire. But the other part of that is sexual harassment claims of defending, is one that's starting to occur more and more often, and I mean, it's well worth it to have that kind of expertise.
If I might, that's an incredibly reasonable fee.
It's well below what market would be for employment specializing, a law firm specializing in law.
Don't like charging.
I make a motion to approve it. Presented.
Make a motion by Commissioner Joyner, second by Commissioner Rockmeans. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have reached our second public comment section. Is anybody here who'd like to come forward for public comment? Mr. Sheffield.
I'd just like to make $245 an hour and people call it cheap.
You went to school to be an attorney. I'm thinking the same thing. I get $10 for a shovel and people are like, man, you're ripping me off.
Yeah, but those are made in China.
Till November. Till November 9th, that all changes.
John, just for board information, they're going to be interviewing this Thursday, the 8th, for a 4-H agent. So, just letting y'all know that at the university.
The university is.
Yeah, the university is.
All right, thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Besides Mr. Sheffield, he's used his.
That's it.
We done? No, you got something else? It's gotta be positive though. It's gotta be like the compliment sandwich. One negative, one positive, then you have another negative.
We'll see. They ain't over yet.
Is this, I haven't been here in a while. This is just general public comments. I'd like to congratulate those of you who have won your elections.
Thank you.
All right.
Come in just.
You just sit down, didn't you? All right, anybody else? Moving on, Mr. Beecham, you're here for the sheriff.
Excuse me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, the sheriff's had a legislative meeting in Orlando, I think. And I'm gonna take up for the new director, Harold. He got blamed for the storm, but for the record, it did arrive on the sheriff's birthday, so our office, we're blaming him. Here basically to answer any questions from the board about where we are. We'll tell you that obviously we put every deputy on the road in the area during the storm, and we're at this time still providing 4 2-day, 2-night to assist Cedar Key Police. This time through the end of the week, we have those scheduled. We're doing that right now, and we're going to continue to do whatever we can to assist in this bad situation. And want to echo our thanks for the way that county agencies work together during this crisis. And the crisis was bad, but we don't have any complaints about the way things work together. Appreciate the support of the board and our other fellow agencies.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, but while I have the mayors of Dayton and he was here, y'all have any unmet needs?
Well, I know there was an issue that we had in the beginning of the aftermath of the storm where the deputies were not keeping people that didn't have the reentry tags, and we had a boat stolen and some other issues on Riverside that I know that Tommy spoke to some of the deputies about, and they knew nothing about reentry stickers or anything like that.
All right, I apologize. I caught the night shifts during the storm, and so, but that's the first I've heard about those also. I can follow up with you after the meeting, I'm sorry.
I wanna thank you because you had 11 deputies down in our area during the storm, and I appreciate it because you have 2 women in our EOC, monitoring the storm, and it was good to just know that those guys were in and out all night, so I appreciate what you guys did.
And, my earlier reference to Brett being here instead of the sheriff was, somebody posted on Facebook about the sheriff's birthday, and he had missed it because he was at emergency operations, and one of the commissioners, I'm not gonna mention his name, complimented the sheriff on the good job he did and wished him happy birthday, and complimented him on being there whenever he very easily could have been at home and just had his people out there doing the job, but he chose to be there and let some of his command staff go home. Not Mr. Beecham, but the other guy.
No, I went home in the daytime.
Yeah, but anyway, and after that, and those of you familiar with Facebook, you understand that the thing blew up, and everybody was talking about what a great guy the sheriff was, and blah, blah, blah. So I made the comment to Brett that afternoon. I saw him, I said, I guess the sheriff's not coming back to EOC because he can't get in the door. His head is swollen from all the well wishes and compliments. So.
I didn't see anything on that from Brett.
Yeah. You didn't even like it. You said what I like, but. So anyway, that's what that was. Well, thank you, sir. Again, to echo my sentiments from earlier, I appreciate all that y'all did, being there, answering questions, river control. Y'all got on the issue of closing the roads, and you know, once that decision was made that we weren't going to let people in or out. Yeah, that's a tough spot. It's easy for people like me to make those decisions, but it's you and your people who have to go out there and enforce those decisions. But anybody who's familiar with a catastrophe or a storm like this, you know, there comes a point where you have to make a decision that you're not going to endanger your employees, your people, because people made poor decisions. They decided not to leave whenever they were asked to evacuate, and then they call for help. Same thing with EMS and fire. You know, Mr. Harrell was there, Chief Harrell, and his people. You had to make some decisions, and you just can't. You cannot say, I'm going to put 2 people who were completely innocent on the road and endanger them because somebody made a poor decision. There was a fire in Cedar Key. Thankfully, Cedar Key was able to respond and get the fire put out. But we were unable to respond because the bridge was completely underwater. We could not risk sending people there, you know, so it was tough to be there and hear that, you know, not to call for help with the dispatch and know that we couldn't help them at the time. Thankfully, Chief Robinson and his people did a great job and got the fire put out.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you to the FWC for rescuing some of the people in Yankeetown that were used to evacuate.
You won't have to tell them folks again, I'm sure. I have some friends very near and dear to me that own a home in Crystal River. They live in Wilson. They went to their home in Crystal River to make sure it was safe, and they lost cars and things. But you know, luckily they didn't lose their life.
We have 75 to 100 homes that are completely.
Very nice. All right,
right, anybody else, anything for Brett? We don't wanna blow his head up either, we can't get him out. Yes, ma'am.
I'll take care of his head blowing up. He released less information than Colonel Sheffield did, who barely released information to the media. I'm just saying. That's why you didn't see him on Facebook.
Well, good job on that, and other than that part, y'all did a phenomenal job.
This is a team effort.
I mean, everywhere that I went down there was the presence of law enforcement, even after the fact. I mean, people don't.
They're profiling you, Rock.
Yeah, I'm
following you around.
I mean, as far as, like in Cedar Key, as far as looting cases, I mean, I don't think that was a problem. I mean, I didn't hear anything about it, but there was law enforcement everywhere, and it was a good thing. I just, thank y'all.
We did get some good help from Seminole County and
Manatee.
Thank you. As part of the mutual aid, which is one of those contracts, I'm sure that come up here, nobody pays attention as it's renewed, but it's very important in times like this. And we're glad to have them.
Mr. Jordan.
What did this do to the budget?
We haven't started writing those checks yet. Hopefully we have enough money, we declare, the state gets declared, if FEMA gives us everything we spent back. That's what we're hoping to.
3 years from now.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's stay positive. Our governor told me I had nothing to worry about. Nothing. But then he saw the election results and realized that I did have stuff to worry about. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Mayor Weiss?
Yeah.
Mayor Merritt?
Good.
Mr. Lemon? Ms. Weiner?
Just thank you. This was my first experience, and it was as pleasant as it could be under the terrible circumstances to learn so much and watch how we operate. I truly appreciate learning it and watching you in action.
And this may be kind of after the fact, but I'd like for everybody to welcome Mr. Harold, Chief Harold. He is our new Department of Public Safety Director. He officially took the job. He officially took the job September 1st, but he was here on the 30th, so he was here for the whole shoot match as far as the storm went. And you know, I can tell everything I saw. He stepped right in and assumed the role and did a great job and led his people, and I appreciate it.
Chief Harold's been here almost a month leading up to this to prepare himself, meeting with our supervisors and all of that. So he's put in a good many hours even before this, you know, so getting prepared, and I appreciate that.
Cedar Keys Fire Chief has been singing your praise, went above and beyond to help them.
I think he was he's in a difficult spot out there, dealing with this and doing above what could be expected of someone. And as far as Department of Public Safety, this was a team effort. Steve Severance did a phenomenal job getting the ball rolling on things. I can't say enough about the job that he did. And he worked right up till his last. He retired on Friday, and he was in the EOC Friday, and had been in there for 48 hours, and just did a phenomenal job. I wish he'd been able to stay around for a couple more months because he's a valuable resource.
Steve actually extended his retirement at the departure of Chief Knowles. He actually extended it with FRS in Tallahassee until we got the replacement on the ground and got him familiar with our supervisors and the system and all out there. So yes, he done a tremendous job.
And anything I can help you with?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Joyner.
Only thing, well, you're a map, 1, 2, both y'all. On 326, and I had a note in my pocket and I left it in the truck I get. On 326 behind Mars store, right across from Long Pond, old Long Pond.
Lake Mary.
Was that 115th Avenue or 115th Street?
Yes.
Steeplechase.
It's so bad right there. I just wanna put it on record that I'm asking that I'm gonna go to Jesse and talk to them when I leave here. If we do something about that runoff and it runs off in the middle of 326.
Yep.
But I want it on record, I did ask that we get something done there, because that is a dangerous spot right there. And if they had to cut that trench off the other day, it would have been terrible. But both of y'all know what I'm talking about,
Yes,
correct?
yes, sir.
Okay, is that 115?
I don't know the exact
100.
road, but I know right where you're talking about. You're talking about how it washes out and goes.
It washes right out the middle of the road and it makes a big mess right there.
Yes.
And somebody hydroplaned the other day when I was out there. And, I just want on record, I'm gonna talk to Jessica about it and see what we can do to get that stopped down there. And Matt, the other morning, you and Lee, I think we cut 9 trees down to get that lady back to her house.
Yeah.
Thank y'all very much for helping me.
No problem.
Because, and then if y'all pulling up on me, I'd have been there doing it myself. But I appreciate y'all helping me.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
To the state trooper.
We had one little minor injury.
Yeah.
I got to buy a pair of shoes. What is it, man?
You better tell that outside whenever the attorney's not here.
We pulled 19 trees out of the road, out of 121 and 326 from Wednesday afternoon, from Wednesday, what time was it? We had EOC. From about 10 o'clock. I got home Friday night about 7. We pulled 19 trees out of 121 and 326 with the help of the road department, the maintenance department. That was pine trees that were laying in the middle of the road. And help the state trooper,
Well, crippling mistake.
What?
I'm just part of it.
It was her job. She got between the truck and the pine tree when it come around. She's okay. Yeah.
She must be okay.
Well, I wanna go on record also then. Enough is enough. I want a flyover done, and I understand it was done yesterday. I want the same thing that Mike wants, but I want it for between 345, 347, and 24 to find out where we can drain this water through. I want the water management district down here, and I want to meet with them, and it's gonna happen.
You are convinced it will.
We are meeting with them, remember?
Well, I got to meet with the other one,
Oh, yeah,
but I want to pick you up with them too, if I have to. I think it was Saturday, the governor came to Cedar Key, and I had the pleasure of being with his aide for 2 hours. It was, on my part, it was good, because I got some insight and some help. On his end, I'm not sure. I told him he was my next best friend. And he made the mistake of giving me his phone number. He'll probably be changing that pretty soon.
On TV 20 this morning, you must have made an impression, because when he was talking about getting power restored, he said, I don't care if it's Leon, Wakulla, Levy, or Jefferson, or any other county, but he did mention Levy. And I figured somebody must have put a budget.
Well, I can tell you, I started getting calls from Duke Energy, and I talked to all those people on the top end of it. And I got their information too, and we'll be hearing from them. But Saturday night, and you gotta understand, as I'm going around CBT, people are stopping me, saying I don't have any electricity. So I'm taking their address and their name and their phone numbers. And by Saturday night, I think by 12 p.m., most everyone was turned back on in CBT. Outside the island, I became this chaser. I seen a white truck, and I went over. I chased him down and told him what I was after. And the poor man, he was really nice. I have to say, he really was trying to help the people. He told me, he says, "Do you live down here?" I said, "No, I don't." I said, "I have electricity." I said, "But all these people back here, they don't." He said, "Well, they're hot." I said, "I know they're hot. They don't have any electricity." He said, "No, they're turned on now." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go down there." I said, "You stay right here." I said, "I'm gonna go down there and find out. And if they do, I won't be back." I said, "But if they don't, you better be waiting."
That guy is still waiting.
No, everyone down there had their electricity on. So then, Sunday after church, I got a list of people in my church that didn't have it. So I was on my way home, and I caught a glimpse of something white, and I turned around, and it was a white truck. I turned around, went back to it, and it was in the ditch. I pulled up there, and I got out, and he had his goods raised on his truck. I started walking over to him, and he looked up and seen it was me. He kind of laughed. I walked over to him, and I said, "Are you okay?" He says, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Is there anything I can help you with?" He said, "No, ma'am." He says, "I went through some deep water." And he says, "My truck won't run." He says, "Anything I can help you with?" I took out my book and I started showing him the address. And he says, "These people right here," he said, "my crew is just down the road and they're coming to me." I said, "Are you sure about that?" He says, "I have to go in there and check the lines." I said, "We get my car, I'll take it." He said, "Well, I can't do that." I said, "Yes, you can." I said, "I can try to go there." I said, "I'll even help you." Well, they didn't get their electricity turned on that night. But this man calls me the next morning to tell me that he's got people going down there. I have to check everything. I'm just nosy. I have to know. So instead of people calling me, I was calling them. Is it on yet? Is it on yet? Is it on yet? Next thing I know, everyone but one person was turned on. So I was a happy camper. But now I'm dealing with the water in the roads and in the yard. You just don't even know. I have some pictures. So I asked somebody, I said, "What do you think this is a picture of?" They said, "The Swanee River." I said, "No, this is 72nd Street." And this is what the people are living in. Any way that we can make their lives more normal, I'm ready to try. I want to tell everyone, all of our staff, everyone that works, and my commissioners. My commissioners, I cannot say enough about. Everyone on this board did something to help during the situation. I was in Cedar Key, and somebody said, "You know that rotten meat?" And I said, "Yeah." He's out there at the road, airport road, working on it. It just made me feel so good to know that he was down there looking out for the people. This one was all over the place, and so was this one. I went down to Cedar Key, I think it was Sunday afternoon, maybe it was Monday, I don't even know.
They all run together.
And they say John was here delivering cleaning supplies. Says Mike was down here delivering, I don't know if it was water or more. Of course, I didn't have anything to deliver but myself.
Y'all keep in mind too that, Ms. Brooks and Rock serve on the canvassing board, and in between all of this, they've had to come back up because there's recounts going on. In fact, today at 1, I think y'all have to be involved with a manual recount on one of the congressional races or.
Today at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, manual count. So they were doing all of that while at the same time doing all of this other, so.
Danny was taking care of stuff around the Willis in that area.
Yeah, a tree fell through his house.
Yes, it did.
Is there anything that we can do for you?
Waiting on insurance right now.
You want me to call them? If they don't do you want, let me know. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that I'm back.
Yep.
We need to tell them we had, it's always had a Board of County Commissioner meeting yesterday, because all three of them went up at the same restaurant. Different time.
I got my food together.
I've already finished mine. I have these especially for YouTube. They're food assistant replacement authorization forms that the people can fill out. And they can be faxed in instead of having to have a computer. And I got y'all some, and anyone else that needs anyone using or made. They're here. The Rosewood Baptist Church will be opening this door today. I got so excited because they asked me to prepare food. I'm thinking, now they know I can't cook. So they said, no, you can just put good sandwiches. I'm thinking, I tried that one time and the kids wouldn't even eat them. It's okay. I'll try again. But no, we'll be served at the spot meals at 5 o'clock. If you want to come by and visit with us, come on down. I won't cook, I promise.
Did get with John, McDonald, we have some more of those cleanup kits, Red Cross. Range have some of those delivered at the church, you can get them over. Let's see that.
I'm skipping him.
Yesterday, during church, I got an announcement structure we had on the coast. Love of Levy has their moving and closed closet open, and it is full. So if y'all know anybody down there needs any clothes or any canned food that's not full,
Where is it?
they'll go to the First Baptist Church in Marston, right on 41.
Near the post office.
So we have somebody manning it all the time, and they can go in there and get as much clothes and food as they need.
the Levy County CERT program is going to, have a meeting on September the 12th. We're gonna get the CERT program reestablished and restarted. David Peden, who's the Assistant Director at Emergency Management, is gonna head it up. So anybody who's interested needs to come to the meeting. It's gonna be at 6 o'clock on September the 12th. So glad they're starting that program back. And I think that's all I have, and I've already talked about the wonderful job that everybody did to get us through this storm. We still have recovery efforts coming, but from what I've seen, just in a few days since the storm happened and what has occurred in Cedar Key, most especially, those people will be back on their feet very soon. My understanding is the same sort of things going on down in Uniontown. The residents there rallied together and are putting things back to as normal as they can be. So, what makes living in Levy County great. We have a great community and great citizens. Anything else? Miss Sally Ann?
No one has said anything about Teal Pomeroy.
Very true. For those of you who didn't know, Mayor Pomeroy passed away tragically 2 Sundays ago in a diving accident. He passed away on Friday, but his body was recovered on Sunday. So he would be missed by the city of Chieftain and by Levy County in general. Anything else? Do I hear a motion to pay the bills?
Motion to pay the bill.
Motion by Commissioner Joyner, second by Commissioner Rockmeeks. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. Approval of minutes, July 19th, 2016. I think I got one, but I may not. I was smarty pants yesterday and thought I caught you, but in hindsight, I may be wrong. Under County Coordinator, just for me to give an update to the board, agreed to offer the job to James Harrell. Shouldn't that be Mitch Harrell?
James Mitchell Harrell.
I knew it, man. I knew it. I knew it.
Let me mention something about them minutes. I think Miss Chandler was working on them while she was out of electricity and her battery run dead on the computer.
Well,
She's done those at home while we was off here closed.
And the other thing that I would like noted is when we talk about the financial statements, that the audit was received, financial statements of Carver Ingram, and I think that we need to note that it was a good audit or a positive audit, something along those lines, so that it's noted that there was no deficiencies or anything like that, please. Other than that, it looked great.
And one more thing. It was stated, and I could have misspoke, but it says that I said that there was going to be a school supply giveaway, and it's listed here as the new middle high school. And it was actually at the elementary school.
Yes, ma'am.
And getting ready for the storm, we have to consider the people who have their pets and won't leave without their pets. And we went ahead and staged animal control, so we could accept pets. And that's a past practice that we'll be doing. I think one year we had over 300 pets.
Don't we have a pet adoption coming up again this month?
September the 17th, the first day of bow season.
Can't kill a deer, come get a dog. We have a lot of All right, does anybody else have anything to come before this board?
John, I don't know if anybody mentioned it or not, I'm working the storm 3 or 4 days straight with all of y'all players. And I don't think anybody mentioned the job you done about sending us out to work. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. We have some of the best employees in the world.
Right.
I mean, from the road department, the maintenance department, the animal shelter. I mean, you just can't name them all. Everywhere you look, you saw a county vehicle somewhere helping somebody.
You guys answered the phone at 3 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Exactly, and that'd be just give you the sense to take your own vehicle out there and look for something how to help. So we got great employees, and I guess what I'm trying to say is you need to thank them every time you see them. But they do a very good job, and they work hard. Everybody says they lean on shovels and hoes. Well, let them lean in that black mud out there we was in the other night. And they'll see how it is. We got some good employees. I just can't thank them enough for what they done over this storm.
Rock was wanting to go into Cedar Key at 11:30 that night.
They wouldn't let me in. They're having people stage out there. And it's, so I went to Shell Mail and got caught leaving there, Bob.
So you look like a looter. All them pellet cases you had.
A few months ago, did you get a parking ticket?
Ooh.
Definitely there's places you don't park.
I'll tell you about a parking ticket or a ticket I got after the meeting, but I was 38 hollering about it, and then I realized what it was. And I let it go. Before we go, I had this note written on my thing about grubs here. Wilbur, do we need to have a codification letter? Do we need to approve that today, or is that not going to be necessary? That's not I know we can codify that contract. All right. Does anybody have anything that needs to come before this board today? Seeing none, meeting is adjourned. So I get a letter.